Welcome to the Big Movement Podcast. If you're ready to create results and make huge strides in your business, finances, personal development, and health, then you're in the right place. Pushing past excuses and powering through procrastination can be a challenge alone. Here, you'll get the support, tools, and knowledge you need to get to the level you desire in your business and life. Let's get started with your host, Byron Ingram.
And welcome to another episode of the podcast. And today we are talking about growth is outside of your comfort zone. If you've ever heard of someone saying you need to play it safe in life in order to avoid getting hurt, then they are living a life of comfort without rewards. You see, in order to win big in life, you must be willing to take risk to receive the rewards you deserve. Let's face it, life can be scary, especially if it means falling down, it means failing, it means something didn't go right, like, oh crap, it didn't go according to plan. But here's the thing, that is exactly what life is about. We're not supposed to have everything going perfectly according to plan, because if that was the case, then everybody would be living in castles, having all the things they ever dreamed of, and so forth. But the reality is, we're going to have things that go right in our lives and things that don't. And when you look at the people who are most successful, everybody has this great story. But what happens is there's a backstory that's not told. If you look on social media, you see people talking about, I'm doing these amazing things. I have all these clients, large groups, and so on and so on and so on. But what people don't tell you is what was the struggle? What is it they had to go through before they got to where they are today? And if you look at even the most successful people that you see on the news all the time and movies, so on, they all have a backstory. And you have to share what they did before they made it big. You'll hear people saying, they had to wait tables and do odd jobs such to make ends meet before they finally got it right. It's how it works for everybody. But here's the thing, like I said that before, there's a misconception that you're going to hit it big with the first great idea you have. Often the first great idea you have is probably one of the worst ones. Now, does it say that's going to be for everybody? No, but it means that sometimes you're going to have this great idea and then you'll look back and think, that was a disaster. What was I thinking when I came up with that? Have you ever had one of those feelings? I know I've had plenty of those, but it's something that we all go through. That in order to achieve results, we must go through one idea after another, because eventually we will hit the right one, but we have to persevere through all the things for it. And what this means is that we'd be willing to fail, because with success, there's failure. They go hand in hand. Think of them as two sides of the same coin. You can't have one without the other. But because most people only want to focus on the successes in life because, they're sexier. Everyone loves to talk about success. And don't get me wrong, success is great. But we achieve our greatest growth through failure. Why? It's simple. When we fail, we learn how not to achieve a particular goal. We learn, that didn't go according to plan. Well, of course not. That's why it's a failure. And in some cases, it's because, let's say it's an athletic type of event. It might be from not training hard enough. If you're competing against other people, not studying your opponents and so on, there's a lot of things that can go wrong there. Or in business, it might be market timing or didn't spend enough time in product development. The list can go on and on. It's going to be dependent upon what you're trying to achieve. But ultimately, there's a risk of failure in everything that we do. But does that mean we don't try? No, of course not. You have to be willing to put forth the effort in order to have the opportunity to win. That's just simply how it goes. And you're going to have people out there say, I've never failed at anything. I've succeeded in all the things I've done. My response is they haven't lived yet. Because when someone says they haven't failed, that means they haven't done anything that has stretched them. They sit inside of a particular comfort zone where they know everything, it will go according to plan because there's nothing that can go wrong because they're in this little itty bitty box. You're playing it safe all the particular time. They could be the most talented people in the world, but because that fear of failure keeps them back, they're going to stay in that comfort zone and say, I don't fail. Well, if you don't try to achieve your goals, you're already failing because you're not doing what you're capable of and to put yourself out there to achieve the bigger and better things. So does this mean it can be scary to leave that comfort zone? Oh, you better believe it. But if we want to achieve growth in our lives, we absolutely must leave that comfort zone because it's a necessity. The people who say they must play it safe, they're in love with something known as certainty. Because you see, certainty means that you know what the outcome is going to be. You know that, let's say you're in a 9-to-5 job. Let's say on the 1st and 15th, you're going to have a steady paycheck coming in on those dates. You know that it's going to be deposited in your bank account. Let's say that you have a particular routine that, you go to the same classes every single day. You leave at the same time every day because the traffic is going to be a certain way each and every single time. When you don't have any variety, that's a need for certainty. And as a result of it, there's no growth. Because you see, uncertainty, the opposite of certainty, is where growth happens because you don't know all the answers. You don't know the outcome. And almost anything and everything can possibly happen. But that is what we must begin focusing on. We have to make that transition from certainty to uncertainty if we truly want to embrace the notion of growth and allow it to happen. Does this mean that we're just going to go into and say, well, I guess we're going to fail? No, of course not. That'd be insanity. What you have to do is you have to prepare for it. It goes against that notion of luck. We see the true definition of luck is opportunity meeting preparation. So when you're entering more of that world of uncertainty, you have to make sure you're prepared for it. It means you have to do your homework. You have to study what's going to go on out there. So there's nothing out there that's a true shock. Because what happens is people enter the state of being reactive, like, oh, crap, this happened, versus the person who kind of prepares and thinks, well, what are some of the possible things that can go wrong? What are things that can happen? So when something does happen, it's like, all right, let's just adjust. And what it means is not everything is going to go according to plan. As one of my mentors once said, as I was coming up in the business world, every best laid out plan is subject to change. When I first heard that, I thought, what in the world? Isn't that the opposite of having a plan? That, the plan's supposed to be there so everything can go according to plan? Well, I learned very quickly, and I still laugh at it to this day, it's not going to work that way. We're going to have things that just go wrong, things that we can't foresee. Think about when software patches go out there, or let's say you have Apple releases, a new iPhone, they're putting out, the operating system motor or Android or whatever. And shortly after it's released, guess what happens? They have to do a patch because there's something that didn't go according to plan. Or like, oh, look, there's a little error in it. It happens everywhere you think of in business. Every marketing commercial, every industry, there's something that can go wrong. Look at in terms of marketing, look at what happens out there with some of these ads where a company might think, this is going to go great, this is awesome, we love it. And then the people see it. And there's backlash and they have to backtrack. And now they're doing damage control because what seemed like it was a great idea at the time didn't turn out to be at all. So that's why you have to look at what is it you're going to do to respond to things. So when you're going to leave your comfort zone behind, you have to be willing to prepare for it. Just dive in, but think, what do you need to be doing to make it the best possible case for you to come out ahead? Just don't dive in like, well, whatever happens, happens. Well, that's insanity. You need to be going into thinking, all right, if I'm going to this without knowing 100% of the facts, what is it that I need to know right now to be best prepared? Because it's the only thing that you can be able to do. Just as if you think about Boy Scouts, their motto is, to be prepared. So you have to be prepared in your business so you can experience growth when you leave your comfort zone. And I hope you found this episode helpful to you as you're embarking on the entrepreneurial journey. So do me a huge favor and go ahead and hit that share button, hit that like button, because someone out there needs to hear this message so they can leave their comfort zone behind.
Thanks for listening to the Big Movement Podcast today. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Now that you've surely been inspired to take your entrepreneurial career and business to the next level, you can stop by the website and get more. And if you're ready to boost your business brand, be sure to grab your free report, 7 Easy Steps to Build Your Brand Today.